So you join me here at Warrington at P2 on the grid at a championship I didn't even mean to join. I thought it was just a normal Thursday night members event. Turns out I'm in the grid series at Warrington, which I didn't even realise I was doing. But just because Liverpool was full, that's literally the only reason I was here. But from now on I started coming here, so maybe it was a blessing in disguise maybe. So we're at the grid series. The format is there is 3 heats of random grids. The results of them grids add up in points to the final, and then the final is at the final result. So here on P2, as we look to the light as they're about to go out here, the screen is bugging. I don't know why. Here we go. And starting P2, you don't have a chance off the line, to be honest. Guy in P3 gets a golden ticket straight down the inside. Unlucky for me here, he doesn't leave the door open, so we can't just make an audacious send down the inside like we normally do here at Warrington. This guy tries to drift a go-kart. He thinks he's in Tokyo or something, not quite sure what he's trying to do here, and he's just waving his arms about, and it's not making him go faster, so I don't know, not quite sure what he's doing here. As he goes super wide into that corner there, he's just flinging the rear end about here. He puts his hand up again. It's not going to make the kart go any faster, fellas, so I'm not actually quite sure what he's doing. We're going to follow him up the up-ramp section, in the upstairs section here. Now, this is like only probably my 5th visit to Warrington, so I wasn't really that fast because it's the first race. I wasn't really that used to it still. As you see, I got quite a bit of slide on the exit there. We are managing to keep up to these guys ahead here. We get a nice run on him down this down ramp section into the last corners here. We're not close enough for a cheeky dive bomb down the inside, sadly, but this guy just wants to hit me out the way, so fair enough if that's how they do it in Warrington, maybe, I don't know. At Liverpool, you know, we get a penalty for that, but apparently you can just hit into each other like bumper cars here. As I get hit from behind here, but I don't mind the guy behind me because he was chill, so he's allowed. The other guy's not. So as we follow this guy around, we're down into P4 now, started P2 down in P4. He tries up the inside. Unlucky for him, I'm just a defensive master at Warrington. So we're going to hug the inside. He's going to give his cheeky tap to push us forward here. I'm going to keep P4 as these guys have just gone straight off into the distance, just ran away with it at the moment. We're going to follow him round into the upstairs section. We're going to try to gain some ground there as we almost smashed the car into a wall, which would not be very good for the old race pace. But here we go, through here, going into the down ramp section here, all the boost down. It's actually quite hard to hold your finger on the boost button. The way they put them at the bottom needs to be at the top. I don't even know. But the screen is quite cool. You can see your sector times, position, all that jazz. Half the time it's broken, like, but I mean, so that's pretty cool. Because we're going to try catch these guys through sector 1, and we have caught quite a bit through sector 1. As you can see, we've probably gained about 3 seconds through there, and the guy in the pink helmet has moved up into P2. So we're going to try and get this guy in the black helmet who we were originally behind before he just got hit out of the way. Here, so he's going to try to take the lead. He's not going to quite do it. But he's going to leave the door open, so we're just going to take the opportunity and go straight down the inside of him. We've got the inside line here. He does not stand a chance, so we just go straight through on the inside. We're up into P3 once again here, but we can definitely take P2 off this guy here. We're getting really close to the rear bumper of him here. We get a nice clean exit, which we do. We're on a bit of a different line there because he forces us a bit wide. We're going to chase him down the down ramp section here. We're going to see if we can get a cheeky move off into turn 1, but unlucky for us, he has pulled a good gap through that section there, so we're going to try and get a good exit out of turn 1 here. He goes a bit wide. He looks at me and then hits into me. I don't understand that one. I'm not sure. Warrington's built different, man. Anyway, he goes on the inside. Instant calm. He goes super wide, and we just get the sexiest of switchbacks done on him. He is long gone on lap 4 of 10. We've managed to reclaim P2 after that start, which wasn't even my fault. It's just impossible to do anything starting P2 on the grid at Warrington. Anyway, on to lap 9 out of 10, the penultimate lap of this race, and you can see the guy in first is just gone. He's just gone on holiday out front, but this guy behind does start catching us a little bit here, so we're going to keep an eye on him through sector 1 of this track. Going to keep it flat through here, bring it around nicely. Don't want to slide too wide. He goes a bit wide there, but he's managing to catch up to us a bit here, so still a bit of a newbie around Warrington. I mean, 9 laps in, I mean, I've started to get more grips to it. But, I mean, last time I was here before this, I was like a second off the pace. But this night, I managed to find the pace. And you'll see throughout the video, I actually start to get a bit faster than I am going now. So here we go through this hairpin section. Kind of just want to hit the brakes and turn the wheel as much as you can, even though your arms are killing. Because this track actually doesn't have powered steering, unlike Liverpool. So you have to use all your bloody arm muscles to get the car rotated. So through turn 1 here, onto the last lap of this race. This guy's catching us. We completely missed the apex here. He's not going to send it down the inside even though the door's open, so that's going to allow us to take the corners just normally. He's right on our rear bumper now though, but I'm just not looking behind me because I didn't think he was there, to be honest with you. But it's not close enough for a lunge down the inside through the Dunlop section here, so we're going to keep him behind us. He's not going to try he can't get a switchback off through here because he's not close enough, and there's not really a chance to overtake through here. As he looks to the inside, but he's too scared of my aura to try and make that move, and I don't blame him because I would be scared too. So we're going to bring it round. He's going to lean all the way, but he's just going to lose time by doing that. We're going to bring the car right round here, and I don't think he's going to be able to get a move off through these corners here. It's pretty much a flat, one flat out corner until the line here, so we're going to bring it round. We got a good gap built up anyway, and luckily for us, the checkered flag comes out just in the nick of time, and that gets us P2 in our first heat. So here we are then at P9 on the grid at heat 2, as we're looking to the lights as they're about to go out now. We get a way better start than the guy on the left of us here, but the guy ahead decides to use the brake into turn 1. I'm not quite sure why, but he does it anyway. Here we go, as they go 3 abreast into turn 2. I'm going to try slot through the middle, get a few cheeky positions here. This guy's going to brake again, and these two are just going to absolutely murder each other at turn 3. It's not too bad for us, so that's 2 extra positions and a cheeky yellow flag, which neutralises the race. The only problem from us is there's a big gap ahead, but sadly you can't. It limits you on the yellow flag now. You used to be able to get a little bit of speed on the yellow. Obviously not like I would try to take advantage of a yellow flag and gain advantage. I'd never do that, but I'm just saying, Warrington, you probably take the limiter off. You know, no reason whatsoever, just, you know. Anyway, following the guy in the red round here, we're going to try pick up a couple more positions. 2 positions in the first lap is not too bad whatsoever, but ideally we want to be near sort of the top 5 so we get some good points for the final here. As we're going to follow the guy in the red here. We're going to catch loads through that down ramp section. We're just going to push him all the way through, and we're this guy's going to get passed by 2 carts on the same straight. He won't be very happy about that, but that's a position gain for me and this guy in the red here. We've got absolutely crazy teamwork as I just drift it round turn 2 and lose all the position all the time. So here we go, we just drop back from the guy in the red. We're going to follow him through the Dunlop section here. Fernando Alonso tries to give it the big one down the inside, but unlucky for him, I'm just a defensive master and he just can't do anything about it. You know, it is hard being so good sometimes, but you know, we move. Anyway, going back round, following this guy in the red, we're going to cut to lap 4 now. We're sat in P6 currently, good considering we started in P9. We're going to follow this guy in the same suit as me. Today I'm wearing the Spalco suit because my own P1 had a massive hole in it and I had to get it fixed. And that's why there's a massive black strip on it now. As we just send it down the inside of him, no thought whatsoever. That could have easily gone horribly wrong, but I've managed to pull it off like the pro I am. So there we go. Cheeky clean move, don't see them very often in Warrington. As obviously I only make clean moves here at Warrington, so we're going to follow this guy around. We're in P5 on lap 4 out of 10 of this race here. We're going to cut to lap 10 though, because nothing really happened after that. I pretty much just drove around on my own for 6 laps as these guys just sat in their own little train for the whole race pretty much. I don't think the leader even changed, they kind of just sat there just trying to rack up some points, which does make sense because you just want as many points as you can for the final, because at the end of the day the final result is determined in the final, not in the heats. So I can see why they're doing it. You don't want to crash and then start P20 in the final. But yeah, we're going to follow him around here into the upstairs section. You want to stick into the middle of the track here and then bring it round into this hairpin. You don't want to touch the wall because that'll lose you a lot of speed. Bring the car around here, smash the brakes in, and then you want to keep it nice and tight to the left here. Want to keep so in the middle of the tracks here. There's kind of a bit of a chicane type thing there, and bring it through the final corner. P5 is not too bad, but if you're a big fan of the channel, you would already know I've already uploaded Heat 3, so I'll just show it to you if you haven't seen it in a bit of an edit form.
Lewis Hamilton disqualified from qualifying yesterday, sent to the back of the grid. Reaction times, Charles Leclerc trying to go around the outside. Can they make it through? They burn wheels and barging through is Charles Leclerc. A big opportunity for Charles Leclerc. There's a big opportunity for George Russell, but a better one for Max Verstappen, who finds himself taking the lead as Verstappen goes from 17th on the grid.
You can't do it at the last moment, and has he covered the inside?
Again, he's going for it again, Max Verstappen, and he's got a quarter of a car length in front. Now they come out of turn 2, and he's got a couple of car lengths in front, Max Verstappen. Once again, Leclerc's got the DRS. This time he's got the inside line, forces Max a little bit wide, goes into turn 4. Leclerc, for the second lap running, has retaken the lead and has come out of turn 4 ahead. As they go side by side, he's not going to try around the outside.
So after an absolute masterclass in the third and final heat, we're starting P3 on the grid for the final here, but luckily it's better. It's actually better than P2 because, as you'll see now, you just get a perfect run on P2 as he gets a shocking start anyway. But we just get P2, you just get it gifted. So P2 may as well just start P3 because it's more of an advantage. You don't have a chance starting on that outside line here. This guy's squirming all over the track here. He's drifting the kart about. We get a switchback off, but he gets saved by the yellow flag, and he has the audacity to hit into my kart while it's yellow. So I don't know, not quite sure what he's doing there. Anyways, goes yellow back into green here as we're going to try catch him off the restart. We gained pretty much nothing there. I don't know why I took my hand off the wheel there, but that's just lost us time, so that's nice. We're going to follow him around into the upstairs section here. You want to tap the brakes so you don't go flying off into the roof, which is not ideal if you didn't know. Then we're going to follow him through the hairpin section here. He's going to get a nicer exit than us there. But we do go purple sector 2. As you see, the rest of the grid flying on past there. We're going to try and get a nice exit out of there. He goes slightly wide, but it doesn't really make a difference here as we've got purple sector 2. But we have managed to climb into P2 on lap 1 of 15. The final is slightly longer. There's 5 more laps, which is, I don't know if really good or bad. On to lap 8 here. Nothing really happened. The guy in first kind of just flew off here. So I defend this guy without even looking at him. I've just got so much aura, I don't even need to look where I'm going, and I can still defend, you know what I mean? Anyway, we're in lap 8, still at P2, we're going to defend this for our life here, as this guy in Senor Frog's cosplay is going to try have a go at us here. He's not close enough to make a send down the inside there, so we're going to just take the normal line to get a bit of speed through here. He's going to take a bit of a tighter line. He's kind of setting up a bit of a switchback there, but it's not going to work. So we're going to go up the up ramp through here, tap the brake. He's going to gain a little bit through there. He is quite close to us now, so we're going to have to defend into turn 1 a bit more if this gap stays like this, unless I manage to increase it, as I completely miss the apex and he gets a crazy exit out of there. He's going to follow us through the main straight here. I'm not looking behind me because I don't want to bin it into a wall, to be honest. I'm going to try the defensive, but I go too far to the right hand side, and that allows him to get the switchback done. Also, there's this stupid double pedal system at Warrington. I actually hate it. Like, if you tap the throttle while like having like a little bit of brake, the kart just like doesn't move. It's awful. Anyway, that's the rant over. As this guy manages to take P2 back off us here, but it's alright because we're still in a podium position. I mean, getting a podium on your first race at Warrington is pretty good on lap 9 of 15 here, but he's not quite running away with it yet. We're still hot on his heels. He's going to brake a bit too much there, but he's going to shunt straight into the back of him to tell him to move a bit quicker than he is. So we're going to follow him through the hairpin section. We're going to get a way better exit than him there. We're going to go through this other hairpin section. He's going to get a bit of a better exit than me through there. He goes a little bit wide though, so we can capitalise a little bit on that as my wheel starts talking to me, but I don't know why they added that because you actually just can't hear what they're saying. But anyway, we move following him into lap 10 out of 15. I was about to say 10 out of 5, that doesn't make sense. Only 5 laps left of this race here. We're going to see if we can catch him through here. We're going to hit the wall for good luck. That's all part of the plan. Definitely did not do that by accident. That was definitely on purpose. As we follow him back around through the Dunlop section, we go on to lap 11 out of 15, which is about to be 12 as we cross the line through here. We've caught up a bit through here. He hasn't managed to run away with it yet, so we're just hot on his heels still, putting on this pressure. We're going to catch a lot through turn 2, that exit there. We're going to wait to use the boost so we can get maximum usage out of it here. And what's about to happen, I'm not going to lie, was actually an accident. So as we get a way better exit here, I actually send it down the inside, which I think is a bit of a dirty move, right? Then he pushes me off into the wall, right? He's just allowed this guy in the red to take both our positions there. So I'm going to blame that on him because my move was dirty and it was an accident because I forgot to turn the wheel because my arms are too tired, if I'm being honest, right? But why is he pushed me into a wall? You know what I mean? I mean, he's lost the position, so it's his own fault. Anyway, that's the crash out over. As these guys are going to run away with it. Sometimes that's how it is. People push you into a wall to a win. You know what I mean? But I mean, my move was a little bit dirty, but not as dirty as pushing me into a wall. Anyway, going into lap 13 out of 15, the guy in 5th is trying to have a go at us now in the background, but he does not quite have the pace to keep up with us here. And I'm not going to be able to catch these guys in the last 2 laps here. As we go on to the final lap, I'm quite happy the guy in green has not managed to take second. He doesn't deserve after pushing me into a wall. So P4 in the end on lap 15 out of 50. Not too bad for my first time here. Managed to improve on my PB by a whole second, so we will take that If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, these videos take hours to make for some reason, so subscribe would help us out a bit, and it pays for these karting sessions, as I can't do a fist bump. Anyway, bye.